Finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yo. We good. Are we in the house tonight? What's up? Let me get the phone number up in here, this joint, y'all. Let me get this phone number going, Johnsons. Booyah, no, phone number. Here we go. There we go. Phone number's in the house. Okay. What up, people? What's up? Are we okay? All right. Is the mic too hot? Is it? Yeah, it's a little hot. The mic's a little hot, Johnson. All right, people, what's up? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Glad you could come here for this show. I know the gas prices are high, so visiting, coming through, it's a lot. Got to get dressed up, got to leave the house to come through. But thank you for doing it, man. That's love, man, when you come out and see a brother. Wow. So, this is the Tim Black Show. We do this. This is True Tuesdays on the Tim Black Show because the phone lines open up, and I'm going to be honest, I'm really going to need y'all tonight. I'm going to need y'all tonight. But, because I don't have a script, and I'm an organic kind of guy. I go by how I feel. It's in here, then it's out here. The filter's broken. It's in here, it comes out here. That's just how it is, man. I don't know another way to be, man. I don't want to be another way. And I'm particularly that way when I don't have a lot of content I want to put out, because today just was not, I was so busy editing and putting out content. I realized I put out a lot of content. You know, I put out a lot of content. I put out 3 clips today. Student loan debt, a video against censorship that some people took the wrong way. Maybe that's my fault. I mean, I used Louis C.K. in the video, but I called him a degenerate. But I guess that's not good enough. Some people saw it still as a Louis C.K. support video just because they saw him in the thumbnail, so I guess that's also bad. The other video was about Amazon. That's what it was. So it was Amazon workers don't censor us and student loan debt. And somehow that's like sellout shit. I don't know. I don't get it. But okay. I'm trying to tell y'all, and then because it kind of stung me. So here's the thing, man. I saw that Marcel Dixon was on Rami Osenfrimpong's channel, and Marcel Dixon, give it up for Marcel Dixon. He's running for Congress. He's running to replace Jim Clyburn. Give it up for that brother, man. Give it up for that brother. Now, I had Marcel Dixon on the show. I had him on the show a few months ago. promoting his candidacy, his campaign. And so Arami had him on today, and that's great. Now, Arami's been on the show as well. So this is what I'm trying to figure out. I had Marcel Dixon on. We know Marcel Dixon supports reparations. That's his platform. His platform is reparations. I had him on the show. There are other people who have not had Marcel Dixon on the show, on their channel. I noticed a couple people in the audience who were saying, someone said Tim Black is shady. Shaky. This bothers me. And I know I shouldn't, I know I'm violating to even give a shit. But I had the guy on my show months before other people had him on their show. And a lot of people, to Arami's credit, a lot of people never even had the guy on. But they're not shaky. They won't support the candidate running against Clyburn, who is an impediment to all progress for all of us, but particularly for African Americans, black folks. He's an impediment to South Carolinians. He's an impediment to all of America. He is a stopgap. He is in the fucking way, okay? And there's some of us who have brought him on their shows to promote Marcel Dixon and try to get rid of Clyburn. Just like I had other candidates on to get rid of other people that I think are horrible. But I'm shaky. Let me get this right. The people they support don't bring on Marcel Dixon to promote his candidacy. They're not shaky, though. The guys that bring him on are shaky. Why come people can't see when they're being played? Why can't they see when they're being played? Why come they can't see when they are suckered? Dog, if I bring him on my show and your guy doesn't, hey, look, people are what they do. They're not what they say they do. They're not who they say they are. They are what they do. They are what they support. If you say you support ending mass incarceration, but you don't promote ending mass incarceration. You say you support ending qualified immunity, but you don't do content about ending qualified immunity. You don't bring on people about ending qualified immunity. You don't belong to organizations like I do to end qualified immunity, but you say, hey, I hate cops who shoot black people and get away with it. I'm trying to figure out how to, if you are what you eat, you are what you eat. And if you don't put your words into actions, then you don't really support those things. Okay? That's how it works. You can't just say, I'm down for such and such cause and then do nothing to promote that cause. You can't say that you ride with people, but then you don't really ride with the actual issues. You don't do anything to promote that other than your mouth saying it. So don't say that you support, if you say you support legalizing cannabis, but you don't bring on people to support legalizing cannabis. I'm just saying, my phone line's open, man. I want to understand how is this a concept people don't get. And look, are we that dumb? Is it just that we're that naive? That a person you could ride and die for somebody who does not do anything to further the causes they say they support. But the people that do put the work in, do put the time in, do bring on the scholars, do bring on who do share the information, do put out the content on these subject matters. You say those people are not real. I tell you, man, sometimes this cesspool of the internet is a horrible thing, but it's bad because I love it, but I hate it. I love it, but I can't stand it. It's horrible, man. But I want to give it up to people like Keith Weston, man. Keith Weston, I saw you out there, man, in the comment section, man. I saw you, bro. I saw you, man. You're good peoples, man. You know, you just holding it down like, Tim had Marcel Dixon on his show. What are you talking about? And somebody else said, he's a sellout. It just bothers me because I put in all this work. It just bothers me. But you know what? I think what it is people don't like competition, Johnson. So if someone has an issue, they could bring it to me. You know what I'm saying? If not, I'm just gonna discount them as background noise and hate. Because I have a phone line open on my show. People call the phone line, they talk about a lot of stuff. So I want to say, man, if you are fighting for something, if you're trying to build something, if you're out here doing the work, I want to applaud you for doing the work. If you are putting your neck on the line, I want to applaud you for putting your neck on the line. If you are putting your family at risk, if you are doing the tough things that's necessary, I want to applaud you for that. If you put in 12-hour days like I do, 14-hour days, while other people do live streams like a couple days a week, it is what it is. And then and skate by on some goofy shit. We have that. Look, I want you to know we have the politics we have, not just because we have the Democratic Party that's full of shit and the Republican Party that's full of shit. We have a lot of other people that are full of shit as well. We got it. We don't have to start accepting that. The whole problem is not bad political parties. Some of it is bad people. Some of it is lazy people. Some of it is bad actors. Yeah, Johnson, we're going to have to accept that because our politics sucks so badly in America. Our system is so corrupt. It didn't get that way just because of a few people in Congress. It takes complicity throughout not just cable networks, but also it takes complicity, ignorance, stupidity, hate. It takes all those things to create this special stew of garbage that we have in front of us. Right? So that's what it takes. It takes people going along with it. It takes people feeding into it. It takes people spreading it. It takes people not doing research. It takes people being apathetic. It takes people taking money. Right? It takes like all these other corrosive things. It's not just, we want to say it's just Jim Clyburn, for instance. And I want Jim Clyburn gone. But Jim Clyburn is not what's broken in the entire system. It takes people who don't support the people to bring on challenges to Jim Clyburn. It takes people for us to have cops being able to shoot us in the streets and not go to jail. It takes people not getting involved in the causes and the movements to end that. It takes the people sitting it out, right? Because people coming together could do anything. People that don't come together can't do anything. It takes people with their hand out. It takes people being damaged to a degree where just seeing other people have a successful life and show you how well they're doing is enough for some people. It really, I mean, if you gotta understand what I'm saying. There are people that have nothing going on in their lives. They have a lot of struggle in their lives, and it's tough. But those people, instead of demanding more, they'll sit back and watch other people be successful and live through their success. And it's weird. Our country is damaged. People's mentalities are damaged. They'll sit back and watch stars. And instead of working to make all of us have a better standard of living, it's easier for them to struggle and sit back and look at the Obamas or look at other well-off people, whoever it is, and say, well, they're doing well, and just clap for that. Clap for Rihanna and clap for, successful other black brown people and say, well, and somehow make it bearable. But in their lives, struggle. In their lives, none of this opulence, none of this success, none of this luxury, none of this. So their lives are full of headaches. But somehow it's bearable because they can cut on the TV or look on the app and see someone else living the high life. Whether it be, a famous, and this goes across the spectrum of white actresses and white musicians, black musicians, like all entertainment, all of that. So it requires us. It requires our consent. Get what I'm saying? Like, people are consenting to this garbage. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people that are fighting against this garbage too. But what I'm saying is, in order for it to work so well, man, guys, it's been working so well that we've been disenfranchised. It's taken a lot. It takes a lot. You can't make people stay stuck the way we've been stuck without it taking a lot of hands to make it horrible. You know what I'm saying? Get what I'm saying? Like, nothing great gets done alone. Nothing horrible gets done alone either. Yeah, it's too consistent for it to just be a handful of people making it garbage. All the systems have got to break down for all the water, for water to be contaminated in so many cities across the country. That takes doing, Johnson. You know what it takes for people to look the other way on police shootings and a justice system that mass incarcerates? It takes a lot of people going along with it. It's not just one crooked bastard in attorney general. It takes a lot. It takes sheriffs and judges and officers in the streets and captains and precincts, and it takes so many people going along with it to work that way. It's a well-oiled machine at this point. So, it's disheartening. But we got to start waking people up. Believe me, we are trying to work on it. There's a lot of us working on waking people up. And I salute those people working on waking people up. But just recognize it's not just the shiny objects of the people that we see in names and lights. It's the morons as well. It's the go-along, get-alongs as well. It's the people that throw their hands up and walk away as well. It's all these pieces that make it the way it is. It's not just... If it was just one person and we could just fly the Death Star in and take that one shot and blow up the Death Star, cool. You know what I'm saying? That's easy. And we had just one bad apple, like one bad, thing. One bad entity. One bad structure. We just overcome that and then we're good. But now, man, we got people taking money, looking the other way. We got people trying to move up. We got people kissing ass because they don't want to put in the work. So they don't want to put in the work of actually building up their audiences. They don't want to put in the work of actually putting out content that helps the masses. They don't want to run the risk of not making as much money or whatever it is. So they just want to go along, get along. They want shortcuts. They don't want to put in a decade of sweat and tears. They don't want to risk not making more money. It takes all these actors to put us in a dead end. It takes work to get to a dead end. You got to drive to the dead end. You have to you have to take the wrong turns. Getting to your destination takes about as much work as it takes getting lost. You know what I'm saying? Because you drove both places. Okay? You drove both places. You had to take all the wrong turns too. You had to take the wrong turns. You know what I'm saying? It takes not listening to advice. It takes not doing the right things. It takes ignoring the little voice inside you. So let's not act like it's magical or the devil that just, that makes people feel good. The devil got into, what they say, the devil comes upon you when, okay. Dog, all I'm saying is it takes work. So I want to salute all the people out there that are doing the work. I want to salute the Tim Black Wolfpack because I know for me, I know nothing good gets done alone. Nothing big gets done alone. You can do good alone, but to make it big, to make that good thing you're doing get bigger, that takes work, man. That takes work. That takes people working together. And what I'm going to do, Johnson, the phone lines are open tonight, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I'm going to use the inspiration of my people to keep our platform growing. And just know there's going to be a lot more hate coming because one thing I know, man, people do not like competition, Johnson. They do. Oh, God, they do not like competition, man. Expect a lot more slings and arrows. So as long as we go down, people are cool with that. One less thing, one less entity to compete with. One less voice is in their way. One less threat to their money pot. I mean, let's face it, man. They don't put time into the editing of their content. Really look at it. It's like lazy as fuck. They don't put any thought into what they put out. They don't have to. They have an audience that's captive that does it. They just whatever. There's little fact checking. They don't post resources or source material. They don't bring on experts. They just talk out their ass. I mean, they've been getting away with it for years. And then comes new people with new media that does research, that puts time into their production, that brings on guests and subject matter experts, that actually go out, talk to people, that open up phone lines and have conversations. Like, these are all things that are really not the easiest things to do, okay? So these are all threats to the system. These are all threats to the system. So we're going to expect to get a lot of pushback. We're going to have a lot of people talking a lot of smack because nobody wants to deal with that. Yeah, it's undeniable. So I want us all to feel good about it because we got to embrace it. Just know that what you're doing, you're on the right path, and that what we're building is important. Just know we ain't alone, and there are other good people out there building similar structures. We don't all have to have the same talking points or the same message at all times because we're individuals. We're not all, coordinated. We have our own voices, and I get that, and I respect that. But just know there's other good people out there too. There's other good movements out there. There are good people working towards it. But people are what they eat, and people are what they do. So I expect for more hate to come our way, my way specifically, and you guys are my buffer for that. I want to thank you once again, Tim Black's Woodpack, for what you do, my moderators, holding it down, Courtney SLP, Keith Weston, David Melford, Sign of the Times, everyone who plugs in. Let me check out who's in the house. My bad, y'all. I got a little hit of myself tonight, Johnson. I did get a little bit of hit of myself tonight. But it just fell in my spirit, man. Just hearing these people talk this stuff, man. I know what people like. I'm an internet guy, man. I've been on the internet for a decade doing this, man. I know how people be overriding on this other channel all day, and then they come over here and it's like these people are plants. I see what they do, Johnson. I see them. I see them. They don't know I see them, but I see them. I see the BS. I see the chicanery. I see the foolery. I see it all happen, and I say, you know what? It's to be expected. You know, it's to be expected. And all we got to do is push forward, man, because it's not just Joe Biden. This garbage existed before Joe Biden. It existed before Joe Biden. So Ace Cooper, what's up, Ace Cooper? What is up, Ace? Yeah, man. I hope it makes sense, man. I hope it makes sense. Nancy Drew, what's up, Nancy Drew? S. Daily. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I know, man. I got a little crazy. What's up, Susan? I got a little crazy there. Lisa Freeman, what's up, Lisa? Good to see you as well. Weedy Gonzalez, what up, what up, what up, what up? Lady Jackie, what's up, Lady Jackie? Yes, 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 y'all. To the beach, y'all. Gar Wolf, what's up, Gary? What's up, Gary? But, yeah, I know. So it is what it is, man. Look, I would be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed. But what I do know is that nothing's given to anybody. Everybody's got to work for whatever they get. And it's going to be a struggle. It's every step. Like so, but you got to be resilient. And look, I like having a good time, so don't get it twisted. I want us to be able to laugh at some of the shit, man, because what's going to happen is this party, the Democrats are going to sink or swim. I think they're going to sink. Okay? The Republicans are going to sink or swim too. I think they're going to sink too. I think both of these parties are going to sink, right? I'm surprised they've lasted this long. And it's only due to the media, man. The media is what keeps these parties somehow staying afloat, man, because how can you have so many people screwed by this system and they still believe in the system? Man, I don't think we got a bunch of people that believe in the system. I think most people are very disenchanted. I think the majority of Americans are pissed off. They're disenchanted. They're frustrated. They're looking for... That's how you got Trump, really. People want to say it's because of this and everybody's racist. There's racism in the system, I agree. But you got Trump because people are so disillusioned. They said, let's get somebody not in the system. People gave up on this system. They gave up on the system. And I think that's going to continue. What you saw on January 6th, that's a foreshadowing of things to come. Because people are tired, Johnson. I'm telling you, they're lying to you. People are not happy. People not feeling good. I don't care who you are. If you're awake and you have a pulse, you know something ain't right. Something ain't right, Johnson. I don't think people embrace the system, G. I think people are just, I don't think so, man. I think the majority of people just try to live their lives. They try to ignore this garbage. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to live their lives. They know something ain't right. They have to know it. Sick and tired, Susan. That's how I see it, man. How we get Biden? We got Biden because I think the media had a lot to do with Biden. I mean, Biden was like fifth in his own party in the primaries. And it took the media, it took the powers in the Democratic Party, it took all those people running to kind of like all say, we're going to go with Biden. And it took a media narrative. Like, anybody remember the primaries? You were there, right? You remember what happened with the primaries? If Biden's not the Democratic nominee, then you don't have Biden right now, right? How'd that happen? So I'm going to ask you, how how did the Democrats get Biden? Yeah, no, he probably just trolling. But how did the Democrats get Biden? That's the question. Not how did America get Biden? How to get down to those two? How you go from being fourth place to being in first place? How'd that happen? So that took some doing. And that's the thing. That's the corruption in the system, Johnson. How'd that happen? I remember how it happened. It took Buttigieg and what was his name? What's his name? Beto O'Rourke. And it took Kamala, and it took like 5 Democrats taking all of their votes, and say, here you go, Biden. I remember. You remember this? That's what happened. So yeah. That's how I ended up becoming Biden as a Democratic nominee. And then like everything else, like what happened after that is up. That's the conversation. Like that's a real conversation about our electoral policies or process or whatever, and how that took place. But I think the media had a lot to do with that. But the DNC obviously wanted Biden. Obviously. Come on, man. It took Obama on the phone. It took a lot. People dropping out. All of a sudden, everybody going, hey, I quit. Hey, Biden. You know, like, who stayed in just long enough. People that just stayed in long enough to be in the way and they jumped out. Where'd that come from? So, there's a lot of theories about this. But if you were here, you paid attention to the election cycle, if you were here, you paid attention to the election cycle, you'll see, in my opinion, I think it's kind of obvious. But I don't think Americans are very happy about their political system. I don't think they're happy about what's going on in this country. I don't think they're happy about it at all. That's what I think. And I think it's only going to get worse because things are not getting better quick enough. They're not getting better quick enough. So I saw that he decided to have the pause on the student debt repayments pushed back to August. And that's a good thing, Johnson. I mean, that's a good thing for all those people who had to make those payments that were going to come due or restart in May. So that's a good thing. I'm glad to see that. But here's the thing, though, Johnson. All Biden doing is kicking the can down the hill. Yeah, because it's not going away. So it's obvious he doesn't want to actually solve the problem. He wants to delay the problem until he figures out a way that he doesn't have to deal with the problem. That's all. How much longer will America allow itself to be run by people who don't solve problems, but just delay problems? Until they could dump it off on the other party or dump it on some other reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much longer are we going to allow that to happen? Like, everything has to, at some point, get to a boiling point. People have to eventually go, hey, this is bad, and hey, it has to be better. This is not good enough for us. And I think people are saying it. But how will we know if we don't have a media that's being honest and reporting it? Right? How will we know what people are really thinking all across the country if there's no way to report it, man? And I'm beginning to think half the polls aren't true. Come on, Johnson. Like, your poll is only as good as the sample size. It is only as good as the questions you ask. It's only as good as the number of people that you ask. What's a poll? Right? So you can always report whatever you want to report. I just do not believe that the majority of Americans are waking up every day going, yeah, just what I wanted, just the way I always dreamed it. I don't think that's true, man. I think people are waking up pissed off, frustrated, trying to escape. And these are my indicators. People doing self-harm. People escaping via stimulants, right? These are my indicators that I'm on track. Because these numbers, the data shows people are more depressed than they've ever been. People are more upset than they've ever been. People are more unhappy with their lives than they've ever been. This should be better. We got more technology. We have more ability to get around, to go places, to do things than we've ever had before. But our happiness level was not increasing. Get what I'm saying? Like, it's just the numbers. For instance, when I talk about police, right? When I'm talking about the cops, and I'm saying the cops, we need to restructure our policing. If policing doesn't need to be restructured, why are so many cops offing themselves? Like, that's not happy. Why are so many cops, in these bad relationships at home? Have you looked at the abuse rates for cops in their own marriages, in their relationships? It's past NFL players who have CTE. It's up there, Johnson. So what I'm saying is, when I say police forces need to be revamped, that's not just for us, that's for them too. I mean, it would benefit them too because something's not working. If people hate their job so much that they're eating a bullet or they're drinking themselves into stupors or they're taking it out on their spouses and their kids, something's not right. But instead of America as a country saying, hey, we need to fix this, it's all about the dollar bill, y'all. Right? So, and they could be doing studies of this. They could be doing reports on this on the news, but they're not. They could be covering this, but they're not. They want to make it about culture wars between parties, between ideologies, but we have common problems. Regardless of what side of the fence you sit on, whatever, besides whatever political leanings that you have. And for the most part, what you believe politically is just what buzzwords that resonated with you more. That's all it really is. I mean, there's not that much of a difference. It's just the way it's being delivered to you. And what kind of triggers you, right? So, that's to the core of my argument, man. I just don't believe that people are happy. I think people are more unhappy than they've ever been, and I think it's getting to a breaking point. And I think America needs to reckon with that, and if America doesn't reckon with it, it's going to reckon with America. Because people can't stay upset forever and nothing change. At some point, that comes to a head. At some point, there's a boiling point. At some point, things explode. At some point, you have to deal with it. At some point, the corruption must cease. At some point, you must address it. Not going to be the scapegoat other people about the problems in our society forever and just blame those people. You have to look at what causes those problems. At some point. At some point. Yeah, the billionaire-owned media. Yeah. Absolutely. I believe that. I believe that. When we say, and I know I'm not the only one to say this, it says this, but I truly believe, man, sometimes, man, I'm empathetic, man. I go through empathetic being empathetic or sympathetic to being really pissed off, man. Because, see, I know that people are not bad on their own. It takes a lot of work. There's a lot of money in the system to fool people, to believe certain nonsense, right? It's a lot of money pumped into the airwaves to make people come away with these crazy ideas. For people to come up with, you know what I'm saying? Like, it takes money to lie to people. They put it together. They do this. Some of these ideas are so bad, they couldn't come up with them on their own. No term limits. No term limits, Johnson. I mean, come on, Johnson. Term limits is a good is a prime indicator, man. Like the fact that these people are able to continue to be. I mean, how long does it take before someone gets corrupt? You know, being able to invest in the same companies that you regulate. I mean, come on, Johnson. Some things are really basic. It's just itching to be taken advantage of and to be exploited. So, and it would take just like a basic awareness for people to go, hey, this doesn't seem right. So even the most basic awareness, they can't let the people to be exposed to. That's why it's dangerous to have truth tellers afoot. Because truth tellers will put a monkey wrench in your whole plan. See, this, like George Carlin said, they don't want to inform populace. They don't want to inform public. Right? Isn't that what George Carlin said? He was right. They don't want people capable of critical thinking. That's the opposite of what they want. So what did they do? What did they do a couple years ago? They used one or two bad actors who put bad content on their YouTube channels, for instance, to use that as a mechanism to censor and to have the algorithm structured so that it would all go through cable media first before you ever see an independent media person talking about an issue. That's what they did. That's what they did. That's what they did. They ran that in the public media and corporate media, focused on like one person who had something on their YouTube channel or some old crazy shit in their comment section. They said, we got to do something about all these YouTube people saying these things that are very dangerous. As if we got us into war in Iraq. As if it was cable, as if it was us in independent media who said there was weapons of mass destruction. No, that was you guys. That was you guys. You're the ones that took us to a war that we didn't need to be in. That was you. But this person on YouTube had some people in the comment section say mean things. So now we need to, and if you continue YouTube and Google, if you continue to allow these independent people to talk louder than corporate media, well, we're gonna shut you down. You don't remember this? This happened like 3 years ago. So they used like PewDiePie and a couple others to say now we need to start. And then all of a sudden, when you put out content on important issues, the rest of the world doesn't see it. What they see is CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, CBS, ABC. They see all the corporate media stuff. The only time they allow us to pop through the algorithm is when it's sensational stories. That's the only time, because look, when I talk about student loan debt, when I talk about important subjects, reparations, when I talk about important subjects, bad water, when I talk about important subjects, it's not that people don't care at all, it's that the algorithm doesn't want that out there, Johnson. They don't want that out there. So it's a system. Like I said, it's not just one person. If that was the case, we'd be okay because those persons die at some point. All of us are human. We're all mortal. So if it was just a person that's bad, that's in the way, that's stopping it, that's creating this system that enables the system to be the way it is, it would be fixed. But it's not. Right? It's not. It's a system. So when someone leaves, another takes its place. The system just continues to run the runs. It continues its rotation. The life cycle of garbage in, garbage out. So that's what I've been taking a look at it. And I just say, well, you know what? It's going to take a lot of resiliency. It's going to take us continue to work together. And maybe we got a shot if we do it that way. But I don't believe that this is all. I don't want to put it all on the people because, once again, millions and millions of dollars are spent to help people form the bad opinions that they have. I don't think it's by accident. It takes doing. It takes doing, Johnson. I want to bring in a caller, Johnson. Hello. Let me bring in 504. 504, you are live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, my name is Gwen. I'm starting my session with a question. Why is it in this day and age we have so many people who are afraid to speak up? Why is that? Whatever happened to freedom of speech? You know, you have all these people riding the line. You know, you can put a statement on Facebook and say something like, the crime is out of hand because of the mayor and the police chief, and that's basically where it starts. You have all these people complaining about crime, but nobody will make a comment to support what you said, but they complain amongst each other. What happened to freedom of speech? What happened to that? Why are people so weak, Tim? Why are people so weak? And with regard to what you said about the government keeping information from us, I agree with you 100%. And they don't like people with critical thinking. I know you're right again with that. But they don't really have a lot to worry about. They can just ask somebody like you. If you don't do what you need to do with the information you already have, having a little bit more won't help, you know, and there's so much power in with regard to the economy. If you don't do anything else, you can make a difference. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to close my statement out. When they had that situation at the Capitol, we have a food market chain here named Rouse's. Lo and behold, people saw owners of Rouse's there. Okay, that's New Orleans. When it was posted on Facebook, they showed pictures of the store right after it happened, and the stores were empty. I made a post, and I gave details about I didn't care if I had to do without certain things. I was never going there again. And I not only promised myself, I promised Jesus. And when I make a promise to Jesus, I'm not going back on that. I am never going to Rouse's again. Now, all my Facebook friends are college graduates, just like myself. People were saying, oh, okay, they're not going. Lo and behold, not too long after that, here comes Master P, and he partnered with Rouse's and started giving bottled water. And do you know these Negroes in New Orleans went to get that water? Did you hear what I said? I swear to God, I would have drank toilet water before I went there to get water. You know, and it's like they're sorry, but that's what's wrong with us. You know how many times people say they're sorry and they don't mean it? That's lame. And water? I mean, really, water. And you're going to change your mind when you saw it. People that own that store, own it, were at that riot and they posted it. That's how we found out. They posted it. They took selfies. Now, you're going to go there. I swear to God, Martin Luther King must be rolling over in his grave when I think about the sacrifice that man made for us. So much so he didn't raise his own children. And that's the level of pride you have. We going back. We are going back. Look at how black people looked when they were marching with Martin Luther King. Even if it was before your time. I was a small child, but all of those women were well-dressed, dignified-looking women. The men, dignified. What happened to us? What happened to your pride? Now, they're doing the same thing they used to do back in the day. Throw your bone, and if you're on top, you don't care anything about anybody else. You know, if you get a show, say like this show you have, and somebody that can really, help you enhance your career or whatever, somebody, white, say, well, look, we'll help you out. We can help you make a whole lot of money, but, you can't talk about anything related to civil rights or whatever. And guess what? People go for it. And that's what they do. They don't have to put us back in slavery. We're doing a good job of that ourselves. We don't even need them to hold us back anymore. We're doing a good job of it ourselves. And that's why, and I really don't want to talk about this too much more, about this foolishness with Will and Chris Rock. They waited, and they waited on purpose, because they knew if they gave us enough time, we would be fighting amongst each other, so much so they would know what side to take to appease us, where we don't know they're pissing on us and telling us it's raining. And we're falling for it. We are falling for it. They're not going to do anything to Will, because too many people, that's celebrities, too many people like yourself, but I don't mean you, because if it was you, I wouldn't even be watching you. Trust me, I wouldn't be watching you. I'm talking about other bloggers that I used to watch. I'm not even watching them anymore because of the stand that they're not taking with regard to this. And these are the people that influence the masses, so to speak. But they're watching them ride the line. They watch the celebrities that they think we like and whose opinion they think matters to us. And that's what they're going with. But I tell you what I would do if I was Chris. Now, I don't know for sure if he even said he wasn't going to sue or whatever, because he don't have to make up his mind right away. And that's another thing. I don't know where these people live, but you do, and I think that's why you always call out the area code, because you know where these calls are coming from. I'm asking myself, where do these people live? Where do you Negroes live? When you still waiting to see what other people are going to say. I mean, across the board, you should start your comment with Chris and Will with, it was against the law. How about that? Nobody ever said that. It's against the law. Okay, then you can say, I like Will. That's fine. I like Chris. That's fine. But it's against the law. Now, if I was Chris, I may have waited to see what the Oscar board or whoever they call themselves, that's short for the KKK, if you ask me, and House Negroes, if they got them, because you're not going to be with them if you're not going along with them. And I don't know why black people think they're making a difference. The only thing people like Whoopi and all could do is really tell us what they're saying about us behind our back. But they're not going to do that because they're going to give Whoopi a bone. You're going to give all these people something to keep them on the gravy train, and they're leaving the rest of us behind. But if I was Chris, if you want to imitate white people, know when to imitate them. Jim Carrey said, I like Will and I like Chris, but Will was wrong, and Chris should sue him in a tune of $200 million. Now that's when you're a real man or a real woman. And that's what I would do. Since the board or whoever, they're not really supporting Chris, I would sue him for everything he had. I tell you who I'd call Benjamin Crump. That's who you call. Let Benjamin Crump come. He'll come. He likes the limelight. I put him on that case, and I tell you, it might have been a slap heard around the world, but it would be the lawsuit heard around the world, too.
Hey, Gwen, I want to...
And I mean that. I have Benjamin Crump on speed dial. Did you hear me?
I hear you.
And that lawsuit would slap the taste out of Will Smith's mouth and his wallet.
All right, Gwen.
And his wallet. I wouldn't have to work
Give it up for my call,
another damn day in my life.
Gwen, I got to let it go there. I got to stop, man. Lord have mercy. Give it up for Gwen, y'all. Give it up for my sister calling up. Lord have mercy, man. I tell you. But look, I appreciate your comments, Gwen. And I want to respond to some of this because you said so much. I want to respond to what you said, okay? You said, why are people so weak? Why are people so damn weak, Gwen? That's a very honest question. Give it up for that question, first of all. Why are people so weak? I think that people, first of all, I don't think everyone is as weak as we think they are. I think this is we don't get a true representation of how people really feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that how will we know how people really are responding to things? See, part of what I'm saying tonight is that we don't get a clear picture. Now, reported in these studies, these polls that they publish, they don't allow people to call up. Imagine if MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, all these major news entities let real people call the show and speak. Imagine what would be said. Imagine the questions people would have. Imagine just the honesty, the realness. It's the reason why they don't do it, Johnson. Because some real stuff might mess around and be said on those phone lines. Gwen calls up, Gwen speaks her mind. They can't even allow that in their world. They don't even, when they had those questions at those debates and they ask a person in the audience, they know exactly what that person's going to say before they even give them the microphone. It's already worked out. I've had people on this show that said they already talk about this before you get an opportunity to speak. They already know what you're going to say. You've been selected. And the revolutionary people, the people that buck the system, those people don't get selected. So that's the first thing. Now, the other part, there are people that are uninformed or ill-informed. I believe that. I believe there are some people just don't know any better. But that's all because of the system, too. And then we have the people that are a part of it, who see their way to get ahead is to either keep their head down, stay out of the line of fire. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of people that keep their head down. We got a long history of certain people keeping their head down, keeping themselves safe. Then there's others who want to benefit from the system. They see a way. They ain't going to combat it. They're going to see a way for them to get paid off of it. Or if somebody going to be selling drugs, I might as well sell drugs too because everybody else selling drugs. Let me get my little bit of it. I don't care if it's killing people. I don't care if it's exploiting kids. I don't care what it is. Let me get some too. There's always going to be that because our system is so built on capitalism, so built on what you own, how much money you have. And also, our system is, if you don't have money, you're screwed. It's not just greed. Some of it's survival. So, as far as Master P and the Water and Ross, yeah, they probably approached Master P with an offer, and he felt he could not refuse. He a businessman. And unfortunately, sometimes in doing business, people do things I don't think they should do, or they do things that they think are going to benefit them, and it's not so much about part of being a businessman is, or business person, I should say, a business person. People try to put aside ethics. They put aside certain things in order to win financially. As long as it's profitable, it's called a win. That's the way this system is. And that's a disappointment. You know what I'm saying? But so many people kind of go by that. What's beneficial to them? As far as the dressing in the 60s and the way people dress now, come on now. I seen some pictures in the 60s. It was some mini skirts in the 60s. There was some butterfly collars. Everybody wasn't wearing a suit. Some people were dressed to the nines, Johnson. So not everybody was dressed like they was going to church. So it's always going to be the flashiness of the time. Don't let that trip you up. Don't focus on the clothes. Focus on the heart. You know, because you can have purple in your hair, but have love in your heart. You can have some skinny jeans on, and look, come on now. You can have some skinny jeans on, but you can have a backbone that's made of steel. So really just clothes. Clothes are clothes. So I try to overlook that. I remember there was a time I would let that influence when I thought about the person, but I've become enlightened and I realized it's just clothes. When I was wearing my Adidas sweatsuit back in the day, or some Timberlands, you know, those are just clothes. So, and I still like Timberlands. So holding ourselves back with money. Holding ourselves back. It's a lot of holding ourselves back. I agree. I forget exactly what that point was about, but holding ourselves back. Are we holding ourselves back? I don't know. I would have to say at least some of us are. Obviously. Because, as I pointed out, I mean, somebody's got to be going along with the nonsense. Because people can do anything if they come together. So if the people came together, we'd be able to change the system. So it takes people caving into the system for the system to maintain itself. Because if everybody was combating the system couldn't be able to function. So that's why they grease the palms. They get the money out. They get the opportunities out. And those people shut up. And they maintain what's called status quo, which perpetuates the system and allows it to keep going the way it's going. People take jobs. So a lot of the civil rights movement in the 60s, all the momentum that was built up, by the 70s, they gave a few black people jobs, and they shut up. You know, I'm pissed off. Let's march. I'm pissed off. Let's march. We want justice, no peace. Justice, no peace. Oh, buddy? Oh, okay. Y'all go ahead now. I'm good. I got to do what's best for my family. Now, let's not forget, there were a lot of people that got shot and killed, too. That had a little something to do with it. So let's remember that we had a lot of people, we saw a president get offed. And then his brother get offed. Come on now. It did MLK get killed. And Malcolm X and Medgar Evers and Freedom Riders and college students. I mean, we saw a lot happen. It wasn't like people just said, we give up. I mean, we saw a lot of death. So this changed the conversation. It changes the conversation when you assassinate presidents and leaders. That could chill you out a little bit. I mean, Fred Hampton got killed in his bed, for God's sake. They bombed a city block. They bombed the folks in Chicago. They bombed. Was it Philadelphia? They knocked it. So let's not. I don't want to just say it's just people going, I quit. Everyone's not selling out. I think it took a lot of COINTELPRO. It took a lot of infiltration. It took an FBI focus on getting rid of us. You know? It may look to the outside like everyone's just giving up, but to this day, there are a lot of people fighting back. To this day. Because there's this thing called a mirror, and sometimes you got to look at it. And you want to feel good about the person you're looking at. So there's some people that are going to stand up regardless, and those people, they still exist. And then we got, and always we got young people coming up. And there's always the hope of the youth. Always the hope of the youth as well. So I'm going to go to the next call, man. Let me try to get somebody in here. 773, you've been hanging around. 773, what's going on? How you doing? Hello.
Oh, hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Who's this?
Oh, hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, who got you? Who's this?
Oh, hi. My name is Feltima. Hold on. I'm looking at you on my phone. Sorry. Can you speak for me real quick so I can know if I can actually hear you on my phone? Because I have the TV, the monitor muted.
Yeah, we hear you, brother. Go right ahead, brother.
Okay, cool. All right. So everything I'm about to say is based in empirical fact. It's rooted in empirical fact. And I'm saying that because it's about to sound a little fantastic. Okay. Everything that's been going on, it's like, there's all this chaos that recently, the past couple of years, it's focused chaos. The thing is that we're in the midst of a paradigm shift. So, for the past, since about 2014, there's been work on a new financial system to replace the current one because it is failing. So the thing is, for example, everything's begun to accelerate, and you knew this started to happen when we knew everything was about to hit a head when the U.S. froze Russia's dollar reserves. When they did that, that killed the faith in the dollar. That was the day the dollar died. So I'm a person who's give a little background on myself. I'm an IT guy who hasn't worked in about a couple of years. I'm in cryptocurrency. I've made a good deal of money. I've done a lot of research. And so what I've learned is, so there's a corporation, right? This corporation is full of very smart people. This corporation's name is Ripple. Ripple's board of directors are a revolving door of some of the smartest people from the Obama administration, as well as I think a couple people two people from the Trump administration, but particularly say, for example, like Rosie Rios, right? She's a former U.S. treasurer. She's on the board of directors for this company right now, and she's just one of many people who are from the U.S. government. They're now in Ripple. So the U.S. government has known about them for a while, right? And so what makes Ripple special is, remember, like the whole thing about the sanctions, that it was all focused on, but they were talking about we're going to cut Russia off SWIFT. That's what they did, right? So here's the thing. Here's what makes Ripple special. So SWIFT is it's antiquated systems, technology from the 70s, and that it takes, so for example, you do a transaction, right? It takes 3 days for it to actually settle. So all of our current economic system, all our payment system and everything, it takes 3 days to settle, and it still uses tapes, ancient technology. And so the thing is that it doesn't actually transfer value. It only just sends messages. So right now there's about over $30-something trillion in Nostro Vostro accounts, right? And that facilitates all of the transactions that are going on for everything. So here's what makes Ripple special. Ripple was the CTO was one of the co-founders of Ripple. He created this cryptocurrency called XRP, right? And so what makes XRP special is that it does everything that Swift does in 3 seconds, but it settles because it's a cryptocurrency. It transfers value. So you can go to the IMF website, right? You can do a search for XRP. There's an article in there from 2018 where they describe what XRP is. They tell you what the products were called back then, XCurrent and XRapid. XCurrent is basically for legacy payment rails for the entire current, financial system. But on the other side of the product was XRapid, where basically it's the Netflix to Swift. You feel what I'm saying? That's what XRP is. You feel what I'm saying? And so what happens with that is that that's XRapid, and that's what that is, right? So what's been going on since about 2018, Ripple has been making deals and making partners out of all the world's largest banks. Like all the banks, they're all in on this. They all know what's going on. The entire Western world, Europe, European Union, and the U.S. have been getting on board for this for a while. So what's been going on is that they've been building these payment rails to get ready to flip the switch. You feel what I'm saying? And so what's been going on since about 2020, right? In 2020, Ripple was sued by the SEC. And so they've been in a lawsuit with the SEC ever since. But here's the thing. What's been going on with that is I've been paying attention to the case. I've been on hearings and things of that nature. Like I said, this sounds fantastic. But I promise you I'm not alone. This is all based in empirical data. You can look it up yourself. And so the thing is, the case has been dragged out, but the thing is, it's all about to come to a head. It's about to end. So what's about to happen is when that lawsuit is over with, we're most likely going to begin to transition to this new financial system. And so that's the thing. What Ripple's main product is called, it's on-demand liquidity. What's the problem with the world is facing right now? We don't have liquidity. So for example, all these rich people, right? They keep telling you Ray Dalio's, what's his name? Jamie Dimon, et cetera, all the who's who of billionaires, right? They'll tell you like Warren Buffett, right? He's like, cryptocurrency is like rat poison, blah blah blah. But what's his company? Halfway or whatever, right? They've been buying the hell out of Bank of America, right? Who was Bank of America partnered with Ripple, and all this stuff is connected. I'm telling you. And so what's going to happen is that once that lawsuit ends, they're going to turn on liquidity. And then all the big money is going to be able to actually buy cryptocurrency because that's the problem. They don't have enough liquidity right now. So that's what all this is all about. And the war with Ukraine, between Ukraine and Russia, has accelerated this because the thing is, the ruble is now pegged to the dollar. I'm sorry, not the dollar. It's now pegged to gold again. Russia is only taking payment in gas and cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, or their own, or the ruble. So the thing is that this is accelerating the demise of the dollar because the thing is, it's like if no one has any faith, the dollar is backed by faith, right? So if you're China, right, if you see CP and you know your ally Russia has just had their dollar reserves frozen, you feel what I'm saying? All these sanctions put on them, and you got your eyes on Taiwan, right? You got your eyes on Taiwan. You know, you got plans. You're the next superpower. You feel what I'm saying? And the thing is, the U.S. is winning, and you understand it. Everybody understands that. And so they're ready to make their move. But the thing is, they don't want to do that if a massive amount of their money, which is in dollars, is going to get frozen. So what are they going to do? They're about to dump that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Excuse my language. They're about to dump it. And so it's going to come down. And it's I'm going to stop because I can keep going, but I think I've gotten the big picture here. That's the thing. That's what all this chaos is for. You feel what I'm saying? Everything that constantly keep putting out, you know, all the fear through the media zeitgeist, and it's like, you know, because it's accelerating the past 3 years. It's all for this. Because the thing is like, what do you think is going to? Let's think about it for a second. There's a lot of smart people in government. They may not be the elected officials, but in those agencies, it has been for decades. There's smart people. They're going to think they're going to watch the entire all of Western civilization die. Nah, they're going to try and switch it over. You know, this is all ties into that whole Great Reset thing. You know, that's what this is all. That's part of what this is all about. You can even like for example, like Justin Trudeau, he's got connections to that. These are the same linkers as the Great Reset. These people, like, you know, they lobby the government, all those different things. But I'm going to keep going because it seems like a lot of people are like freaking out about me talking about this stuff in the comment section. But that's all I wanted to like break it down. This is what really is going on.
Wow, Phil T, but give it up for my caller, y'all. Something different to consider, right? Right, something different to consider that I hadn't thought of. I'm going to look up Ripple, and I'm going to look up XRP. And having more information, and nothing's wrong with having more information, right? Right? That's what I'm saying. So let's look into it. I'm not going to dismiss it. We've heard about the Great Reset, so I'm going to take a look at this, man. I want to thank you, Fatima, for the information, brother. Different, like that's, hey, look, different frame of reference, different way to consider things. Wow. I didn't see that one coming, Johnson. I did not see that one coming. What the hell? Okay. Let me try this 804 number in the house. 804, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim Blizzy. What's up, Tim Blizzy?
My brother, what's up, man? What's going on?
Hey, this is Shakim. I'm calling for Richmond, Virginia.
That's what's up, man. What's on your mind, Shy?
Hey, I love your show. I want to first give the Tim Black family a shout out. From the Murphy family to the Tim Black family, we love you. Keep up the hard work. We need you in this fight.
That's what's up, brother.
And thank God you in it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I'm just glad that I was able to just give you a shout out.
Oh, man.
And just let you know, man, it's a lot of real people backing you.
My brother.
And we love you, bro. And just keep up the good work, man. We need you. We really do. And I watch you. I try to catch you as much as I can, you know, but hey, man, I love you, dude. And, you know, I don't know you personally,
right? But
I love you. As a brother, I love you. And may God bless the Black family. And you have a wonderful night.
Man, give it up for my caller, Shakim, the Murphy family out there holding it down with me, man. I appreciate you, bro. I do, man. And thank you for calling up, brother. And peace and blessings to you and your family, brother. And I mean that. And I promise you I'm going to do my best to stay on point, brother. And to do what the work calls me to do. You feel what I'm saying? I can't promise perfection, but I'm going to promise you a righteous intent. You know what I'm saying? A righteous intention. A thoughtful intention. You know what I'm saying? And thank you, brother. Thank you, Shakim. I appreciate it, man. Wow. I'm looking over on my board, man. Trying to get some new callers in here, Johnson. So I don't mean no harm, but I'm trying to get new callers in. So I'm gonna hold out to that. I'm hold out for that. I was just checking out the comments, man. You got. I see people talking. What's up, Courtney SLP, my sister? Hey, Courtney, pick out your mug. Pick out a mug. Courtney, go to God, do I have a link to the gear? I don't know if I still had a link to my gear section out there. Okay, so the Tim Black Wolfpack, we have a gear which includes clothing, but also includes stuff like mugs and glasses and stuff like that. That we sell merch, right? We sell merch for the show. Courtney, I just want you to know, Courtney, Mrs. Black noticed how much you've been helping out the show. So we would like to give you a mug or something, want to send you something, and just want to appreciate you. Because I can't afford to pay my moderators, but we gotta recognize moderators from time to time. And other moderators know I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna pick a moderator every so often and just send you something, because I think you gotta be able to support people who support you. You know what I'm saying? So email us at tim@timbblacktv.com, and we're gonna get back at you. And we'll send you a mug or a t-shirt or whatever you want. Because we know it's time out your day. It takes time out your time. You guys, everybody holding it down, working with us, man. I appreciate you. I know you got other stuff to do, Johnson. David, I know you got other stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. So thank you so much for what y'all do. Emma Johnson. My bad, Johnson. Hold tight. Sorry, Johnson. I'm looking for I knew it. Goodness gracious, Johnson. Goodness gracious, man. I was right. I gotta put that on the board, Johnson. Goodness gracious. God damn it. Pluto, Crever. Tim, thank you for your channel. Plutot Crever. Well, thank you, Plutot. I appreciate you, Johnson. I do appreciate you. God, man, I don't know what else to say, Johnson. I really don't. I don't know what else to say. I'm going to go ahead and try the 619 number, Johnson. 619, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
I don't know what else to say. I'm going to go ahead and try the 619 number, Johnson. 619, you're live. What's your name? I don't know what else to say. I'm going to go ahead and try the 619 number. 619, you're live. What's your name?
Hello?
Yeah, you're live, 619. Who's this?
On?
You got to cut down your whatever that is.
Okay, great. All right. I'm gonna turn the volume up here. I wanted to say the main reason I wanted to call in. I haven't been watching or listening for a while. I lost a family member last summer, and it's been the worst of the worst, but I'm kind of coming back now and all that, and it's really nice to see you and listen to your show again tonight. I just came into this 20 minutes ago, so I don't really know what the main subject is tonight, but my thing is about, how the cops shoot way more black people than they do white people, and people really don't give a shit unless it affects them and their people. So there's some YouTube channels on here where they audit the police, and they do have a lot of cases.
this one audit, the audit can get kind of dry, but this guy knows the law and all the penal codes and all that. But it's very interesting. They have all of the body cam and all that stuff. And they do have some where the cops are, coming down really awful and terrible things on white people and all that. But to be sure, by far and away, it's black people that they shoot more often than whites. But what I'm thinking is when black people get shot, sometimes it makes it on the news. Not as often does it get on about white people. But if the media would cover them beating the shit out of white people and shooting white people, then white people would begin to pay attention and they go, oh, wow, maybe the cops aren't fair. And again, I mean, I realize they shoot way more black people, but, unless your ox is being gored, so to speak, you don't really give a shit. It has to affect you and your people before, by and large, the white community will say, well, maybe the cops really are some pretty bad dudes. And they say, well, there's bad cops and there's good cops. Listen, with the code of silence, they all have the code of silence. They are all bad. It's not just a few bad apples. They're all bad. And so that's my point there. And then the one guy was talking about Bitcoins and all that kind of stuff. Listen, we're having the dollar, which is a fiat dollar, fail. The last thing you need to do is go and get another piece of currency that has nothing to back it up. And I know when you think about and talk about gold, then everybody thinks you're a weirdo and you're a gold freak and a gold bug and all that. But it's all about the full faith and confidence of the American public. And someday they're going to realize that there's only about 3 to 3.5 cents of value on that dollar. And I think we're in for a wild ride here. And I mean, crazy. And one thing I wanted to say to everybody out there, anything with a shelf life that you would eat anyway, if you like, whatever it is, if you can eat canned vegetables or whatever has a shelf life, buy 2 of them next time you go to the store. The worst thing that could happen is you're saving the inflation for literally the next week or 2. And it's going to be that bad. You can't get fertilizer for the crops here. And the crops that are grown, like wheat, if somebody in another country is paying more for it, they're sure not going to sell it here in America. So I worry about people going hungry. And I'm kind of all over the place, and I don't want to keep blabbing. I hope I've made some kind of sense. And, I maybe a year or more ago when I was listening to you, I think you were using the word fake, and you said, well, there's fake news and fake this, and not in the sense of Donald Trump saying it, of course, but, fake this, fake that, and you even said fake money, and I thought, this Tim Black seems to know a lot about just about everything, and I wondered if you're following the finances of the world and all this, because it's getting real bad. And just one more little thing, the bond market, okay, this was, let's see, COVID got started in 2020, right? So it was September 17th of 2019. And the Fed started pumping money into the bond market like mad. And they said, we're just going to do this for a little while, like weeks. And then they were doing it by Christmas. And it's like QE, only they don't call it that. And they keep doing it, and they've never stopped doing it. And I was around look up September 17th in the bond market, and the bond market is inverted again. And when that happens, at the very least, you have a recession. And I think it's going to be a whole lot worse than that. But anyway, I'm taking too much time. My name is Steve, too. And the previous Steve had an awful lot to say. I hope I've made sense. and I really admire you and your work. And keep going. I think you're the best of the lot. Everybody here on YouTube and elsewhere too, for that matter. Anyway, I'm going to hang up now, and thanks for listening. Good night.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for the phone call. Give it up for my caller. Wow, guys. This caller hit on something that's very important, Johnson. Very important. He hit on something very important, Johnson. Very, very important. Now, as for me, following the financial markets, not so much, brother. A little bit here and there. I know a little bit about MMT. I know a little bit about a lot of things. But, and it's callers like you to keep me informed about what I do know. But I will say that your initial statement about people cares about what affects them. For the most part, we care about what affects us. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some people that are empathetic to other situations. They focus on other they will be sympathetic to others and they will be concerned about other people. Don't get me wrong. We got people like that in my audience. We got people who care about issues I talk about that don't directly impact them. But the masses of people focus on things that impact them. There's just so much time they feel that's in their lives. There's just so much they can focus on. They're going to be worried about what impacts them the most. Which you just stated was one of the prime reasons why I cover stories when white kids get shot by cops, when white men get shot by cops, and white women very rarely get shot by cops. But one of the reasons why I cover it, to show that it's a problem. And you're absolutely right. I don't think it's an accident that news does not cover when white men get obliterated by cops. Folks, I've done stories on this channel about they ring out in the mind. They stand out. Man gets shot on his own deck. In his own house. Cop went to the wrong house, killed a man. On his own property, on his own deck that he built with his own hands. I covered that about a couple years ago. Of course, everybody remembers the young man out in California. His name escapes me, but he was a homeless man who had some psychological problems, and they killed him. They killed him slowly. Number of cops beat him to death. Beat him to death. Horrible story. But people discounted that because he was homeless. He was white, but he was homeless. There's been other stories that I've covered of white guys getting killed by cops, but you're right, it's strategic. I've said it so many times, man, if white people were being killed the same rate that black people were being killed and white people knew it, everything would change in this country. People want to say it's all about racism. Some of it's racism, some of it is just self-survival, it's just self-focus. And I guess maybe people call me a sellout for even having this point of view. Because if you don't just say people are just racist, that's the reason. If you don't chop everything up for racism, then people say you're selling out. But I'm just trying to tell you, hey, man, call me what you want to call me, man. But sometimes, I admit, I don't know a lot about what's going on in the Asian community. I just don't know. Am I racist because I don't know? No, I just don't know, Johnson. Because it's just so much time. You have just so much bandwidth. You have just so much focus. I know there was a study that came out recently that showed that once the word got out that the issues with COVID were impacting mostly black communities and Latino communities, a lot of the concern of the white community dried up. And everyone said that's racism. And like I said, once again, yeah, part of that may be racism, but it's also, hey, it's not impacting us. That's their problem. We are disconnected. First of all, America's very segregated, okay? We're probably nearly as segregated as we were in the 50s. We just don't talk about it that way, okay? America's very segregated. Black people tend to live around mostly black people. White people tend to live around mostly white people. Latino people tend to live around mostly Latinos. We're a very segregated country. So, I mean, this is the reality of what we have. This is the reality of what we deal with. So we try to make changes, and we try to get people involved. We try to be inclusive in the issues that we talk about, because if not, people tune out because they don't hear themselves. It's not for me, it's for them. It's not for me, it's for them. So this is something I've had a dilemma with for a while, brother, because it's like, okay, someone said it today. Someone made a comment on my channel, and I'm not bringing this up to bring it up, right? I don't want to go back down. We've already talked about Will Smith and Chris Rock. We talked about that. I did 4 or 5 videos on it. People say, my God, that's enough. What are you doing? I know people that did 10 and 15 videos on it. But my 5 is way too much. What are you doing? In a week, I'll reach more people in a week than I'll reach in 2 months. I know people don't care because it's not your business, it's not what you're doing, but I have to look at that. That's the real thing. And I remember when I wasn't doing that type of thing, and I see other people talk about an issue and stay on it, I'd be like, this person's obsessed. This person's obsessed. That's because people were coming to this show. They're like, wow. The hope is that some of those people stick around, Johnson. That's the hope. You want to grow your audience, unless you have advertising dollars. But here's my point of bringing that up, Johnson. Here's the point. Someone said to me, they said, Tim, you're talking about Chris Rock and you're talking about Will Smith. Why are you doing that in mixed company? Why are you talking about that in mixed company? You're out of code. You're talking about black issues in mixed company. Now, forget how absurd that shit sounds when everything we put on the internet, anybody can watch or see at any time. That's how segregated America is. The complaint wasn't the quality of your information, the quality of your information, the value of it, nothing. Even the points you made, no problem. But you shouldn't say that in front of white people about a story that's global. It's global. But to this black person, it was a man. Of course, I mean, that's what their avatar says. You really never know what someone is. It's the internet. This person was livid, pissed off, mad as a mofo, mad as AF with me. Because he said, I'm talking about these issues in mixed company. So to my caller's point, if we don't talk about issues in mixed company, and if you're concerned about mixed company, that's the problem. We can't change America just talking to black folks. I'm sorry, Johnson. I know we want to, but you can't. It's not enough black people to change America, only talking to black people. You're only talking to 13% of the population. You're not even talking to the people with the money, the most access to power. How you going to change America only talking to the disenfranchised folks? You got to talk to more than just that. That's been my complaint. And we got a lot of channels that have been doing that for the last 10 years. There's been a lot of channels only talking to black people. As long as I've been here, all they have is a black audience. And I ain't seen shit change, Johnson. Now, I know that's me being an asshole, because change is slow. I see people make a lot of money, though. Live very well off those black audiences, but I haven't seen a whole lot of change. Hell, they're not even trying to change anything. There's no legislation. There's no new initiatives. This is a lot of bickering, fighting amongst each other, roasting each other. I haven't seen a lot of fucking change, but I see a lot of activity, a lot of views. Then you got a guy like me who has a diverse audience. And I think that's a threat to some people. But you know what? Everyone has their lane to run. I'm running my lane. In my philosophy, it's not sellout, it's not capitulation, it's a different viewpoint. And that is, if we're going to change problems, if we're going to change issues, and we're going to spread awareness, we need to talk to everybody. In my job, my ethical driver is this. I must talk the same way in front of white people, Latino people, Asian people, Native American people, and black people. I'm not going to have one way of talking to black people. I'm not going to have one way to talk to Latinos, one voice when I talk to white folks. I'm going to talk the same way to everyone. And it's going to be me being consistent. And I'm not going to bite my tongue no matter who I'm talking to. That's the way I see it. But I agree with this caller. I agree, Johnson, that people have to know the shit impacts them too. They must know it. And once again, there's some people, they don't have to know. I'm not Native American, but I cared about no dapple. It was an injustice. But see, I'm not everyone, right? Like, I don't speak for everyone. I cared about it. There'd have been some people going, why do you care? You ain't Native American. Then they wonder why others, and when others don't care about our issues, about black issues, they call them racist. You do the same thing, bruh. Because I talk about an issue that don't impact you directly, you say that's selling out. But then when they don't talk about your issues, they don't care about us. So, look, I'm not saying everybody has to be the same, but I'm saying, dog, people have different tactics. Different people have different ways of doing the thing they do. And look, it took me a while to learn it. Took me a while to learn this, Johnson, so I get it, man. And look, I've been around the block for a minute, and it took me a while to learn it. I'm not saying I knew it off the bat, so I get it. And I never know where someone is on their journey. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they haven't figured it out yet. I'm not talking to everybody, Johnson. Some people get it. They see that there's value in different things people bring to the table. But don't tell me my point of view or my mission is somehow tainted or somehow not as righteous as yours just because I have a different tactic. I just believe something different. I believe it's important to be inclusive where we share it for everyone. As long as you don't water the shit down, Johnson, as long as you keep it 100, Johnson, that's my only criteria. That's my only criteria. That's what I try to stick to. You get what I'm saying? But I appreciate this phone call, man. I really do. I appreciate you calling up. I appreciate you bringing this up. I also want people to know how corrupt it is in the system overall. I want people to know about the corruption in the system overall. My caller's right. I love that my caller's like, look, I know that cops kill more black people than they kill white people. I know that. It's like 3 times as often. We know this. But they will kill white people too, because corruption doesn't stop. Power hungriness does not stop. Abuse of power is abuse of power. They're going to abuse power with others at times. So anyway, I'm going to go to the next call, man. This is good. I'm getting a long list of... let me get my headphone back on, Johnson. It's crazy, right? 602. 602, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Greetings in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. This is Pastor Junior CEO.
Hello. All right, brother.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I hear you.
Mic check, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm sorry, sir. I'm having technical difficulties.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. What's your comment, brother?
I was calling to tell you, keep doing your thing. It's hard being in the middle of a battlefield and you need water and resources and you feel like nobody knows. But I'm calling to encourage you. The pandemic is over. We're back to business. It's time for a change. And when you put out positive energy into the world, dropping that knowledge, bringing the heat, it's going to impact somebody's life. You don't know it, but you're thankful. I'm thankful for you. But I'm thankful that you're doing this platform. I want you to keep it going. It's hard, but somebody is listening. Somebody is seeing. That's all I got to say. There is a God, and that's who I serve. That's it.
I appreciate that, man. I do appreciate that, man. You know, I try to be careful when it comes to religion just because I don't want, people, brother, more than I do that so many different beliefs. It's sort of like politics. We start talking politics, you offend people. You know what I'm saying? In different religions, people have different points of view. But I appreciate you calling up, brother, and I appreciate the kind words and the wishes and the inspiration. And I don't want people feeling bad for me, man. As this, I'm very fortunate, brother. I'm doing something I chose to do, and if I wanted to, I'm making it hard on myself by trying to have certain criteria. You know what I'm saying? This is all self-induced. I could go another route and just talk jokes, but it just doesn't feel. It doesn't feel important to always, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like I'm maximizing the opportunity to have your attention if all I'm doing is just trying to get, just trying to do something for myself. So we talk about important issues as well as we try to have a good time as well. I think I try to do both. I want us to do both, man. We got, but there's real stuff going on, Johnson. And we can't just escape it with a joke or two, but I, sometimes you gotta. But I appreciate you calling up, brother. And thank you. And I wish you the best and bless you as well. Bless you as well, brother. I need to make more time for I listen to you, bro. I need to make more time for my mom, man. I didn't call her today. I got to call her bright and early in the morning, man. Make sure she's doing okay. And my mom is a religious, very religious lady, very spiritual. And whenever someone gets spiritual with me, I think about her. But call your mother, Tim Black. Now, don't judge me, y'all. I've been busy this weekend. But I'm going to make sure I do it tomorrow, Johnson. That's because my brother just called up. Give it up for my caller, y'all. Call, remind me, man. Ain't no excuse, Tim. Call your mother, Tim Black. Better call, Mom. But I want people to know, man, because look, I know this is not a typical show. Typically, I have stories picked out. The problem is I edited 3 videos today. Mrs. Black came home a little late. She's like, we were late on making dinner and doing our stuff with the kids. And she's like, what you going to talk about today? I said, baby, I have no idea. I was tired. I edited 3 videos today, put them out on topics that I thought were important, especially the student debt and especially the Amazon. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm beat. Because those take a couple hours each, And one of them took a little more than a couple hours, so we talking about 9 hours worth of work. Then I had to do a show. It's like, I really don't know what I'm going to talk about. But I want you to know, Johnsons, that I appreciate you guys. I appreciate my wolf pack. I don't take you guys for granted. And no matter how tired I am or if I got something to say or not, I'm gonna open up this damn phone line. I'm gonna let you call in. We're gonna try to do the thing because the call-in shows are for the people, Johnson. That's who that's for. You know what I'm saying? And I say, even if I don't know what I'm gonna say before I go down here tonight, I know I can open up their phone line and I ain't gotta say it because people could call in. So I don't have to have it all figured out. But give other people the opportunity to be a light for other people. So that's part of this show, man. I think that's part of what makes us different, Johnson. Yeah, that's part of what makes us different. That's part of our character. And so let's keep that going, Johnson. Let's keep that going, Johnson. Wow. So I'm over here looking at the board here. I'm wondering, man, I worry when people stop calling this show or stop coming through, especially when I know people that have health issues. And as my caller 619, brother, I meant to say this before anything else, brother. I meant to say this. My condolences, brother. My condolences on your loss. I send you sympathy. I wish you comfort. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I meant to start that response to you. I meant to start it with that. And we've been around so long, Johnson, that I've seen we've had people go through all types of stuff. I've lost people. I've lost members. Man, we've been through it, man. This ain't a regular, I don't know, man. People come here, they come check out the Tim Black Show. I don't know what they think about us, man. I've seen some other channels. And maybe I'm so wrapped up in what we do here, Johnson. But I know callers who have lost people. I don't think everybody knows their callers and their viewers well enough to know people who have lost people in their audience. Just saying. That's that. I'm just saying. So when I tell people we have a community here, I believe we do. I believe we do. So I thank you guys tonight and every night for coming through here and lending your support for my great moderators that take time out their lives to try to make things be civil without overstepping. And I appreciate you guys. And I notice, you guys do a good job of trying to not be bullies. And I appreciate that so much, guys. But you try to keep order. I know it's a thin line you walk, and I don't really give much direction. I trust you guys. But I want to give it up to you. Lord knows you ain't got to do it. You do it because you care, man. And I appreciate that. I want to give it up to all the people that support this show. My Patreons on Wolfpack, my Patreons of the Wolfpack on Patreon or on YouTube or on Facebook. We still got some great people on Facebook who've been hanging in there. They don't want to come to YouTube. They don't want to go on Patreon. They like Facebook. And God bless them because, everybody likes where they're at. People get comfortable wherever they're at. They get used to wherever they are. So right now, I got a legal thing going on with Facebook, though. Those people, man, Facebook is wild, Johnson. They are wild. They really don't give a damn. They like Amazon. They're like Amazon, Johnson. Arrogant. And do not care. Do not care. But and of course I'm talking about the company, not you guys, of course. And that's one thing everybody for what they do, Johnson. I'm gonna tomorrow, and look, I want to thank everybody who tunes into our podcast. Our podcast is doing very well, Johnson. Very well. It's doing very well, Johnson. I'm looking at the numbers on our podcast, and we're in the top 10% of podcasts in the country. And I haven't had a single guest on the Pause with Tim Black podcast. Not a single guest yet. Just because you guys made that successful. I'm like, wow. And I had no idea that was, that we were doing so good on the Pause podcast. And don't get me wrong, the numbers aren't crazy, but most people don't listen to podcasts. I mean, it takes a lot for people to keep coming back to a podcast over and over. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at the numbers. I'm like, wow. I looked at the numbers, and then they said, well, this is pretty good, Tim Black. It's like, get out of here. So I didn't know. I want to thank everybody who called up to the show tonight. It's good to know that I don't have to have everything all prepped out, that somehow we'll make it informative. That's because we had great callers like Fatima, like Shakim, like Gwen, call up. And look, I missed a couple of the names of the callers. What's Steve? I missed a couple of names of the callers. But thank you, Johnson. I also want my usual crew to know I want to kind of expand it a little bit, let some other people call into the show. But I got love for you. Phone lines will be open on Friday as well. So let's go to the comment section, man. I see we got Ace Cooper in the house supporting the show. Thank you, Ace Cooper. Teague Matari. It starts with corruption and money. Research Jeff Booth and follow him down the rabbit hole. Uh-oh, Johnson. Teague said, go down the rabbit hole, Johnson. What's down that rabbit hole? I won't get lost now. I don't want to end up like a QAnon. Come on now. Thinking crazy stuff now. Bose Einstein, far right and left, ask for a civil war.
90 seconds.
Let's set this. I hate this recording, Johnson. I can't cut it off. It's with the phone line. I can't cut it off, Johnson. It's crazy. I can't. This thing just talks. So, try to let it finish up. Bo said, far right and left ask for a civil war. A new U.S. civil war will be worse
60 seconds.
Worse than Ukraine's war, butchering civilians based on vengeance, racism, poverty. As they say, the people that like war, the people that clamor for war, are the people that don't expect to fight in the war. Or at least they don't expect their kids to fight in the war. Because we got some nutcases out here who been traded for something, I don't know what. But do they want the children to die in it? You want your children to die in that war, Johnson? Plutot. Quiver. Tim, thank you for your channel, man.
10 seconds.
Thank you for caring about this channel, Johnson. Look, Plutot, I remember when I used to do this show, Johnson, there would be 20 of us. And I'm not even exaggerating. It would be 20 or 30 people. I remember when we could get to 50 people, we were like, wow. And if you think about it, when's the last time you invited 50 people to your house? You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds like, yeah, this is 50 people. Well, so what, Tim Black? Yo, last time you had 50 people over your house? I can't remember the last time I had 50. I don't think I've ever had 50 people in my house. So we need to be thankful no matter what, because technology. See, I'm old, man. I remember when none of this existed. I come from a time, long time ago, when people used to have phones that had cords on them. I come from a time when there was a phone that had a rotary dial. I remember that. I remember when TV used to go off at 2 a.m. at 1 a.m. You young people, man, you guys are privileged, man. TV used to go off at night. They don't know nothing about that. Gen Zers and the Gen whatever. They don't know. They have no concept. Pac-Man was cutting edge. It's like, what? Is the thing that was like cutting edge graphics. So, and look, it wasn't that long ago. You just young. Tony D says, in a word of advice, don't read Chicago's newspapers because they will make your blood pressure rise, Johnson. Uh-oh. Man, what is going on with, does Lori Lightfoot, does Mayor Lori Lightfoot deserve all that she gets? I have never, ever heard anything positive about Lori Lightfoot. How can never, ever do anything positive? What is going on, Johnson? I've never heard anything positive. Not even one story ever. I see the dancers at the cookout. Nothing positive. Jesus Christ, how could you be bad all the time? Both Einstein says GOP wants to pin Judge Brown as a child abuse lover. What? Judge Brown is a child abuse lover. You talking about Judge Joe Brown? Where did he get this from? Now, I will say this. Judge Joe Brown don't have no cut cards. How many people heard Judge Joe Brown? Judge Joe Brown, guys. How many people know what Judge Joe Brown? I saw Judge Joe Brown, the new Supreme Court Justice dude. I don't know, man. You talking about Judge Joe Brown? I don't know. Ketanji, she hasn't been confirmed. The Judge Joe Brown that I listened to, that I've heard recently, that brother, man, it's like, hey, Judge Joe Brown, do you give a damn? He's like, I don't have any dams to give. Now listen here. Like, goodness gracious. All y'all bunch of dummies. Like, what? I can't even use Judge Joe Brown's language on this channel, man. Y'all, I try not to go that hard, man. He's like, that brother, man, is TVMA. Brother Judge Joe Brown just has no, I say I have no filter. That ain't true, man. I have a little bit of a filter. Mr. Black be like, Tip, could you watch the cursing a little bit? A little bit. Baby. My wife adds a little baby on the end of that shit. Baby, I want to tell you how to run it, but then you listen to Judge Joe Brown, you're like, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, Judge Joe Brown. He don't give a damn. Ketanji Brown Jackson, what's up with her? Ketanji Brown Jackson. Man, I don't know what's going on with that. I heard it was deadlocked or something. I don't know. I'll follow up at some point. Judge Drunk Brown. Oh. Snack Panther. That's what you say? Hey, look, man, I would love to do a show and have a drink with y'all. But you think my eye is weak now. Come on, Johnson. Nah, man, I'm not going to do that to you. I'd be like, Tim, will you look at the camera, please? My eye's lazy now, and my eye goes to sleep when I drink. My eyes is in this. Nah, man, I cannot drink, Johnson, and try to do a show. Not to mention, I'm a lightweight. I know people saying all types of stuff. You don't want that, Johnson. You do not want that. You say you want that, then I got to be apologizing. Hey, look, the Wolfpack, I'm sorry. Last night I was a little drunk, and I didn't mean you were all a bunch of assholes. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to talk about your mama like that. I didn't mean that. We all explaining. I come from a time where people made jokes about people, man. You know what I'm saying? Feltima. Feltima in the house. Feltima, thank you, brother, for your support of the show. I did not expect that, family. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Feltima says, thank you for listening, Tim. Please do your research. This isn't crazy white wing stuff. Follow CBDC, Biden's EO executive order, etc. Give it up for my caller, y'all. Hey, Feltima, people call up in here with all types of theories, ideas, strategies. And I appreciate you supporting the show as you did so. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. Because people usually just call up with the idea. They don't support the show. Just be like, I think this. Check this out, Tim Black. Let me tell your audience this. But I appreciate you, man. Lord knows, YouTube is not, if it wasn't for my memberships and you guys are super chats, this show literally would go away, Johnson, because YouTube does not run ads on my stuff like y'all think they do. It's crazy. By the way, Johnson, I want to thank all the people in the chat who hit like tonight, because believe me, that helps too. They tell me that helps. I really don't know if it helps, but I heard it helps. Lady Jackie says it helps. Courtney SLP says it helps. Context matters. Thank you, Context. I didn't see you over that joint. Thank you, Context. They say it helps. I guess it helps. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know. People say it helps in the algorithm. I don't know. I talk about real stuff that's more serious. No one hears about it. I talk about other stuff. Everyone hears about it. I don't know. People hit likes. I don't know. I don't know what it is, Johnson. I guess it's like gotta be searchable. The topics have to be searchable. And I guess the topic, It's True Tuesday, is not searchable. I didn't want to put anything like this. I didn't know what to title it. Titles matter. Titles and thumbnails matter, Johnson. If you guys start YouTube channels, titles and thumbnails matter. Let's tell you that right now. You cannot phone it in on the titles. You cannot phone it in on the thumbnails. Hell, it's almost more important than what you say in the video. Because if you don't have a good thumbnail and a good title that grabs attention, then people will never see your video to see what you said in the video. See what I'm saying? It's hard enough. You would think, okay, I got to put together this video. It's got to be a good video. You want people to watch the video. You don't think that the thumbnail and the title, that you should spend as much time on that as you spend on your video. Because if they don't click your thumbnail, they'll never see the video. Get what I'm saying? It's how it works. The little things mean more than the big things sometimes. But it matters what's in your content, because if you have a horrible video, excuse me, they'll never come back. People hate that. A horrible video, they go, oh my God. I wasted 30 seconds of my life, Johnson. I'm never coming back. You make people waste their time. Woo! They'll remember you too. You that sucker that waste my damn time. They won't forget you. I think they write you down and put you in the book. That's that guy that wastes my time that time. I could have been doing something else. I could have got up and went to the refrigerator and grabbed a beer. But nah, I was watching his video. He wasted my damn time. What's up, Lynn? How you doing, Lynn Howdy? Lynn Howdy in the house. Is that all we got for tonight? I think that's all we got for tonight. Hey, tomorrow's going to be Pause with Tim Black. I have some more. I'm going to actually do some, I'll come up with something. I'll watch. Sometimes I hate watching the news, Johnson. Send me story ideas, Johnson. Send me story ideas. Because I watch the news, I'd be like, man, I don't even want to talk about this crap. I don't want to talk about this. It's what they talk about on MSNBC. It's what they talk about on Fox. If you want to hear about that, you go there. So send me your ideas. Send them to tim@timblacktv.com, Johnson. Send me stuff that you care about. We know what Feltima cares about. Ripple and XRP, Johnson. It's raining like hell. Got my sump pump cutting on in the background. All right, guys, I'm done. I had a great time tonight. Thank you. Hope you had a great time tonight. It's been real. Be safe. Remember, don't let nobody take your cornbread. Remember that. Don't let nobody take your cornbread, Johnson. That used to be our tagline. I just got tired of saying it, but it's still in my heart, Johnson. Are you going to eat your cornbread? Don't you let nobody take your cornbread. And, oh yeah, cut the check. Cut the check, Johnson. Wolfpack. That's it, y'all. Peace.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to timblacktv.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.
Most news shows are suspect. They don't focus on Black issues, and when they do, it's all fluff. How does that help your life? How does that help your family? How does that help the culture? They don't. The Tim Black Show is different. Tim Black gives you news for people who can't stand the news. Real, authentic, researched, entertaining, on point. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Visit www.timblacktv.com today. Get Black breaking news, politics, culture from someone you can trust. timblacktv.com. Join us today.